I'm over here going, yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Kevin. Remember whenever I told you in the video about the micro fishing kit, the little tic-tac fishing kit, that I fish with a Coke bottle and that I would make a video and show you how to make one, and I'll also show you how to cast it. And I'll show you how actually efficient, and I love fishing with these things, but anyway, if you look down, I'll show you everything you're going to need to make one. Just a cutting tool, duct tape, electrical tape, you know, anything like that will work. I don't recommend Scotch tape. A Coke bottle. This is the 20 ounce, works great. The 1 liter is a little bit large for me. Works best if you wash them out, leave the cap off, let them dry. Some fishing line. This is 20 pound. Most of the time I'll use a braided line. I have a couple of lead weights, and I have some yellow tape, and that's for demonstration purposes at the end so you can actually see how far this thing casts. Notice I don't have a swivel, I don't have a hook. That's because I'm showing you how to set it up, and I'm going to show you how to cast it, so I'm not putting a hook or a swivel on it. Start off with, get your line started. I just do a little slip knot, nothing fancy, no fancy fishing knots or anything like that. So even if you're not a knot aficionado, say that 3 times fast, anybody can just loop it over and tie a little slip knot. Alright, once I have my slip knot, I take my line, run it back through one more time to make me a large sliding loop. The bottom, I caught the hips of the curve of the bottle, slip that around, pull it tight so it tightens up on there. Now, take me a piece of duct tape. I don't want it quite as long as the bottle is round, just kind of close. Alright, once again, pull my line tight. Alright, and I hold it tight right there. Here's my line running right here. So I don't put it right on top of my line. I put it on the edge, just around, just to kind of hold this in place. And of course I'll trim this off. And next, I'm going to start wrapping my line around my bottle. And I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me wrap line. So we're going to stop the video, and once it's wrapped, we'll cut back to it. Alright, I'm done wrapping my line on here. I will go ahead and say it's better to wrap too much than not enough. I mean, you don't want it mounted up, but you want enough that if you get it snagged, break your line, you just wheel off some more, put a new swivel, hook, whatever you want on it, and you're good to go again. You don't have to stop and put line on it. And I'd actually do that to the point that I could break my line 3 or 4 times and still have line to go. Alright. Now, when I get to the end of my line, depending on what type of fishing I want to do, I'll either slide a cork on, put me a couple of weights on there, a swivel so I can change hook sizes anytime, and I'm ready to go. But for this one, I just put a couple of small weights on there, and I am going to cover them with a yellow piece of tape so that when I cast it, you can actually see where it goes. And I may have to do a test cast, not sure. Usually I have weight, hook, swivel, and bait on here, and you know, weight really counts whenever you're trying to cast. So we're gonna cut away and find a better spot where the sun's not right in my eyes, and we're gonna cast this thing and see what kind of distance we can get. Alright, I've got my fishing rig set up. I'm gonna show you how to cast it, but before you start laughing at it, I had 3 buddies, Donovan Bragg, Tyler Roach, and Ian Tavares, that all laughed at my fishing rig when we went catfishing one night. Guess who caught more fish, and guess who caught bigger fish? So just because you got a more expensive reel, fish don't give a shit. Alright, alright. It's going to put a little drag on it, but we'll see how far I can cast. You ready? So,
let's mark it off.
Alright, where I stand. See if I see it. Oh, I'm at 10 and I'm tangled in my own fishing line.
That's Kevin.
Thank you. Appreciate all your help, Josh. Where am I at?
It's right here.
So about 20 paces, 60 feet on the first cast. Not too bad. I'm gonna get one more cast in, see if I can beat it. So we basically made it to the edge of this berm. So in order to beat it, I'm gonna have to get over the berm. And if you look back that way, you'll see my Coke bottle. So let's go wind this up. And come on, I'll even show you how to wind. Simple winding. You can either wrap with this hand or you can just work the Coke bottle. You can wrap as fast or as slow as you want. If you want to bring it in, or you can take the tension out, set the hook if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and reel this on in. You know, even if you're reeling, you want to do a little bump on your line, you can do that. While I'm reeling, I will tell you, usually when I'm fishing, I go ahead and fill my bottle with water so that my bottle does not compress when I'm squeezing it, because if you get a large fish on there and you're pulling and trying to wrap, it's going to crush this bottle, and the shape is, you know, what makes this functional. So put water in your bottle. You can pour it out when you're done. Doesn't matter if it's clean or dirty. And when you're done, you can put some weights, hooks, and maybe even some jigs in there. Who knows? All right. This time I'm going to pull off about, what, 3 foot? And overhanded cast. I'm going to sidearm this one. All right, ready?
Well, it made it to the berm.
I made it further because instead of shooting straight, I shot past the block and actually made it about halfway up the berm. So I'll count it off in paces.
It's up here.
All right, so 23 paces. So you might as well say, what, 60 plus another 10, 70 feet?
Yeah.
And then you figure if you get the weight of a hook and some bait on here,
minus the drag of that tape.
Minus the drag of that tape, you can probably get at least 90 to even 100 plus cast. So hope this helps you out. These things are great. You can keep them in a kayak. You can keep them behind the seat of your truck. You can keep them in a glove box. You can even make one on the fly by picking up a bottle, helping out the environment. Stick with us. We're going to have more do-it-yourself stuff coming soon. And to all the men and women in uniform, big thumbs up. We thank you for what you do. Y'all have a good day. See you next time. One thing I didn't notice, because I'm like, I know I can cast this thing further. I've done it many times before. When I come back up here to look at I ran out of line. So had I had more line, I could have definitely got more distance on it. So there you go, 100-foot cast at least.
Hanging off.
Okay, so Josh is going to use 2-foot line hanging off because he's just not used to working with longer things like I am. All right, let's give it a shot.
First cast of
ever with a Coke bottle.
With a Coke bottle fishing line.
And you ran out of line.
I didn't run out of line again. Did the same thing Kevin did. So we know we made it the same distance when we have to measure that.
So if you're going to put line on there, Put you a couple 100-foot of line on it. Or if you're going to put heavier line, put 150 foot on it. All right. Hope y'all enjoyed the video.
Later, Tater.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
I got the hook in my eye. I need to go to the emergency room.
Of course, we fish for fucking catfish. I had weighted hooks and chicken liver.